Hey, this is Ben Shute at Hearty Roots Farm, and I'm excited to be part of Hardscrabble Day today. We are at our farm, technically a couple miles over the border from Red Hook into Claremont, but our farm, Hearty Roots, had its start in Red Hook about 15 years ago when we started out on rented land on West Curly Corners Road. Moved over to rented land at Gregg Farm, and then popped just over the border into Columbia County when we bought our land here in Claremont in 2012. But we still are very much a part of the Red Hook community, and our CSA, Community Supported Agriculture shares, in addition to being available here at the farm, also are available in Red Hook, right at the Elmendorf Inn at Historic Red Hook, right in the village. And wanted to show you around the fields and the greenhouses today, show you what's going on as summer changes over to fall. It's kind of a exciting time for farmers. You know, I think the last couple of days are the first days that started to feel pretty cool and have cooler nights, and that's just a time when there's a lot of changes happening on the farm. The plants are kind of shifting from their real growth mode to just ripening things up and getting ready for the later fall season as we get ready to harvest. We're really just almost done planting anything in the field. We planted a few seeds yesterday, some final radishes and baby greens. But from here on out, all the planting is going to be winter stuff going into the greenhouses, and I'll show you that in a minute. But for now, here's a look at our fields. We've got about 30 acres of vegetable fields here. Of course, we don't plant them all to the max every year. We have a mix of, got some buckwheat and sorghum Sudan grass and soybeans and a few other grains and some tillage radish and things like that. And that's really a crop that we're growing, not for this year, but to improve the soil for vegetables that we will grow next year. And beyond that, we've got a lot of crops in the field getting ready to harvest. Maybe hard to see, but got some baby greens closer to us here. As you go back, there's some dark green field of broccoli that's really looking great and is getting ready to ripen up as the fall gets cooler. More broccoli over there behind the Alice G cultivating tractor. Field where there's some sweet corn stubble that is all finished, but that we just planted into some cover crop for the winter. A field of leeks. And over here, I'll show you around the greenhouses for a minute. We've got our greenhouses that we use for both winter production, but also especially for growing some heat-loving summer crops. We've got this greenhouse is all in tomatoes, and you can see they're super tall. They're like way above my head here, and these have been in here since the spring. And some farms, they use greenhouses to try and grow tomatoes like really early in the cold months of the spring or in the winter even. We grow them in here not too far out of the season, but the reason we do it is that plants are just so super healthy and productive in here. They love being in this controlled environment where we can control exactly how much water they get, and it keeps the leaves dry, which means the leaves don't get diseased, and the plants are just super productive in here. Got these nice cherry tomatoes still ripening up. Grow a few different colors here. I love these little yellow ones, they're my favorites. And you can see these plants, I mean, we've actually had to, they get so tall, like this one's really out of control all the way up to the top. We actually do a thing where as they grow taller and taller and taller, we actually take off the leaves from the bottom of the stem and then lean them down so that they have more room to grow up towards the ceiling without hitting the top of the tunnel. But these tomatoes are kind of getting towards the end of their time for this season. We'll definitely keep picking them through September, but as we get into October, we'll be switching these greenhouses over to some winter greens. In this greenhouse, we have a lot of tomatoes. We also have, this is a cool crop, ginger. Ginger is not a crop that you can grow real successfully in the Northeast climate. It likes to grow in Hawaii and places like that. But when you grow it in one of these greenhouses, the heat and the extended window of warm temperatures lets you get actually a nice crop of very fresh, beautiful ginger in the Northeast. So that's really nice. And we'll be harvesting that in several weeks. Another cool crop over here I'll show you in a second. One thing about these greenhouses is that we do not heat them, except for our seedling greenhouse where we grow our seedlings to plant into the field. None of these other greenhouses are heated with propane or fossil fuels or anything. The way that they keep warm and toasty is just from us being careful about how we manage them. So in bright sunlight and warmer temperatures, we roll up all the sides of the greenhouses and open up the doors real wide and let tons of air blow through and have fans going. But when there are cool nights, every afternoon we're out here rolling the sides down, buttoning them up, closing the doors, and locking in that warmth from the sun that accumulates during the day, and locking it in for the night so that the plants are toasty overnight. And that's even true in the winter when we're growing greens all winter. That's exactly what we're doing. We're not heating the tunnels with any fossil fuels. We're just using that sunlight. And in the daytime, even in the winter, if it's freezing outside, inside these tunnels, these greenhouses, it'll be like 70 degrees just from the sunlight, and the fans will kick on to cool it down. So it's all literally like solar energy being used to grow these plants through the winter. The other thing we're careful about in the winter is selecting varieties of plants that can tolerate the cold temperatures, because even with all that solar warmth that builds up during the day, on a 0-degree night, it freezes in the greenhouse. But the varieties of greens that we choose can tolerate that nighttime freeze. We also cover them up with some row fabric that keeps them a little more toasty in there. But they do freeze, but then in the morning, these are varieties that can tolerate that. They thaw out and they're beautiful and super tasty and great quality the next day. In here we have some other heat-loving crops for the summer. We got peppers and eggplants. And these eggplants are just like absolutely incredible this year. They're like, they're as tall as me. Like when you think of eggplants growing in the field, you think of like little plants that you have to bend down and harvest. And when you grow them in this high tunnel and put them on trellising and let them grow up high, you get 6-foot tall eggplants. So it's pretty cool. And again, these plants, they love the warm temperatures. They love the protection that the greenhouse offers, and they're just so productive when we grow them in there. So, you know, the greenhouse is an investment in time and materials to put up. But actually, when you calculate it all out, it's a very simple structure. And it really makes it worthwhile to do that work and get the results that we want for our heat-loving crops. Here we'll go. Now this is our. I keep cutting out. Sorry about that. This is our. Well, I keep cutting out when I go in the baby greens greenhouse, but here we have the first of the baby greens growing. Actually, this house has been in baby greens for much of the summer, and greens don't actually love the heat very much, not like the peppers and tomatoes and eggplant. So actually, we try and keep that greenhouse cooler. We put a shade cloth on it to shade the plants in the summertime. And actually this year, this is the first year we grew greens through the winter in a greenhouse like that, through the summer. and it worked out really well. So we'll be doing that again. And then this winter, actually, instead of greens, we'll be switching that over to having some overwintered onions and other things in there for the winter, which is a new thing for us that we're going to try. And then I'm just taking you over here to our flower garden, our pick your own garden. This is a garden that we have just exclusively for our CSA members to come and pick flowers and herbs. And actually the really nice thing this week is we've been seeing a ton of monarch butterflies in here. Like how many we were seeing. There's one right there. I don't know, a couple on the zinnia flowers over here. Look at those guys, beautiful. So cool. So we love seeing that. And we're a certified organic farm. So one of our goals, in addition to producing great food for everyone, is producing other benefits for our community. A good habitat for wildlife and and beneficial insects and butterflies, and benefits to the soil and water and air, clean air. And so it's very rewarding to see these butterflies visiting our garden and making a stop on their migration. That means we're doing something right. So I'm happy about that. Cool. So this is our CSA member garden. Our CSA, we provide vegetables to people in this community and in New York City, and we've been doing that. That's been the core of what we do at the farm for years. We also have our farm market now. So we also have our farm market. We're in our third year of having a retail store at the farm, and that is open year round. So our farm market is open year round, a little bit fewer days in the winter, but right now we're open every Wednesday through Sunday here at the farm with our own vegetables and other farmers' fruit and tons of great stuff to eat. So also meat and grains and all kinds of other things here at the farm market. So stop by and visit us. If you're a CSA member, thank you for being a member. We love having you as our supporters, and it's been cool to show you around. And usually at this time of year, we get to do a big farm party and farm tour with everyone, all our CSA members. This year, we're not able to do that, so I'm glad that we're able to do a video as part of Hardscrabble Day and give you a little tour of what's going on virtually. So thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry if the video cut out a lot. And have a great day.